Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Fourth and Mile podcast. That's Nicholas Light. I'm JD Zaza, and welcome to college football conference championship recap plus playoff reactions from us. We decided since the college football playoff is the big story of the week in the world of football, we thought we'd do that first. We'll still have our NFL episode. Don't you worry, NFL fans. We'll get that to you on Thursday or sometime this week. Nicholas, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm not too bad. Exams are finishing up for the both of us for this semester, so yeah, and then work. But I'm now on Christmas break.
Yeah, me too.
Which is kind of nice. Are you ready? You want to get into the meat and potatoes of this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. So, the college football playoff rankings came out Sunday morning, right before before our game between Alabama and UTSA, which we were both at, and Nicholas, could you share the screen right here? I have the bracket up for everyone. I think everyone should know it already, but this is what no, that is not our bracket. I am really not on my game today. That is on me. Let me see. That is my bad, guys. Let me try something a little bit better than not being dumb. No. Okay, that looks right. All right. All right, now you can pull it up. That is on me. All right. So here is our bracket for this year's 12-team college football playoff. We'll talk about the conference championships after, but I thought let's get into the big story. So the big story was, what were they going to do with Miami, Notre Dame, and Alabama? And what they did was the least controversial thing to the college football world. Basically, putting Alabama in at number 9, keeping them where they were, even though they got smacked by Georgia in the rematch. And they put Miami in over Notre Dame because Miami had the head-to-head win, and Miami was pretty even with Notre Dame in all the metrics. Nicholas, what are your thoughts on the playoff? You could talk about the Miami side, the Alabama side, the Notre Dame side, or some other story that you saw out of this bracket.
I mean, at the end of the day, the playoff committee did what was best here. They got it right. In years past, people may have said, "Oh, they got it wrong," or much debate. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, they were saying head-to-head matters, so it does. Yeah, that's why Miami's in. I mean, all games should matter at the end of the day. And conference champions, you shouldn't get punished. I know Alabama lost pretty badly, but I mean, they were already in. They didn't even drop one spot. I mean, they could have dropped I thought it was going to be 10, but the committee pretty much set the precedent when Georgia remained 3 and Ohio State was 2. Like Indiana and Ohio State just flip flopped between whoever won the Big Ten was getting number 1. And I mean, if Georgia would have jumped to number 2, then maybe like Miami and Notre Dame probably would have been in. But
Yeah, I think another thing that could have helped was maybe the ACC maybe Virginia getting in would have helped.
Yeah, Virginia getting in, Notre Dame probably would have been in.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame. I didn't believe it. You said at the start of the year that Notre Dame wasn't going to make the playoff. Remember that?
I did say that. I'm right.
Yeah, I
forgot about
did
that.
I did not expect that because I thought even at 10-2 they would put him in just because it's Notre Dame. It's Notre Dame, the brand. They proved last year they can go on a deep run. I thought they'd get in. But this year was way different from last year. Last year, a lot of teams were 3 losses trying to get in. This year, there's a few 2-loss teams that are not in the stands. It didn't even get talked about for the stands. And there's some teams that probably could have been in this playoff and probably could have gone in a deep run like Texas and like Texas and like Vanderbilt and Notre Dame possibly. But this year the committee decided no, we gotta keep conference championships for at least a little bit, and head to head's got to matter. And that week one game in Miami turned out to be massive.
Yeah, it was massive.
And then I was kind of surprised Georgia didn't get moved up, but I think that's kind of smart. I mean, Indiana, Ohio State have been the two best teams all year with the least weakness, so I'm totally fine with that. Really, I think the loser of the Big Ten championship in Georgia are probably going to be on a crash. We're going to be on crash course anyway, but still, that's going to be a great game. All right,
I mean,
so
if you're Georgia, you probably won't be complaining with who you got seated up.
No, I don't think they're complaining at all. So let's talk about these games. We'll have an episode about these 4 games a little later, probably next week before the games kick off on Friday night. But what are your thoughts on the games? Because
a lot better than last year's games.
Really? I think they're about even.
I think at least 2 of the 4. 2 of the 4.
I think the hype for them is kind of like there were 2 games last year that I was super excited for.
Yeah, both those games were blowouts. So.
Clemson, Texas was really fun, and then Ohio State, Tennessee, I was excited for, but turned out to be terrible.
Yeah, both those games ended up being blowouts. I think.
Yeah,
you like closer games. I think the Alabama-Oklahoma game will certainly be close, probably, and Miami A&M will be pretty close, I'd imagine.
The big thing I have problems with is Miami A&M. I get there's TNT has night games, but Miami A&M's 11 a.m. Really?
Yeah,
that sucks. I thought that'd be a night game in Kyle Field because that's the game I'm more interested in, to be honest, because Alabama-Oklahoma is going to be another Alabama-Oklahoma. I'm expecting a very similar game to what we saw in Tuscaloosa that you and I watched together.
Yeah.
I'm expecting another one. It's going to come down to which quarterback and what offense can move the ball a little better than against 2 really good defenses in Alabama and Oklahoma. Probably two of the 3 best in the SEC, I would say.
I had no idea that those games were at that. I didn't really see the game times for the other game. I only saw Alabama one. But
basically for the playoff, Friday night is ESPN's game, so Fowler and Herbstreit.
Yeah.
So TNT and CBS have some of the playoffs, kind of like last year, but this year, I guess ESPN has the 11 a.m. in the night, and I guess they got the first pick. I don't get how that works, but basically Friday night, Fowler and Herbstreit are going to do Alabama-Oklahoma. Kind of expected. It kicks off the playoff, and it's blue blood against blue blood. Massive game. Winner goes to Pasadena to play Indiana.
Yeah.
The other game, the Miami A&M game, is going to be at 11 a.m., which sucks. And the primetime games are the next game up is Ole Miss A&M. No, Ole Miss Tulane.
Ole Miss Tulane. I mean, they played earlier in the season.
I actually think that could be a fun game for a little bit.
It could be like last year. Not last year. Back in September, everybody thought this game was going to be really close. Ole Miss ran away with it, but this was like the first game of the Trinidad Chambliss coming out party, really. Or like the second game. Was it after Arkansas or before? I think it was after the Arkansas game.
I think it was after too, but I'm more interested to see how Ole Miss is going to respond to this.
Yeah, respond to the coaching stuff.
I know they got Charlie Weiss calling the offense, which is massive, but I have no idea how Ole Miss is going to play. Plus, Tulane still has Summerall. Summerall's still coaching. Summerall's going to coach this whole playoff if they want to.
And then Oregon, JMU. Oregon's about the boat race. I'm not really going to watch.
I thought anyway, like even if Duke somehow got into this thing, or even Virginia, I was like, I think it's going to be whoever lands to the slaughter for Oregon.
So I'm trying to see where's Texas Tech's bowl game at?
So this came out recently. Ohio State is going to the Cotton Bowl.
They played there last year, so I guess maybe just like
Yeah, and turns out their two choices were obviously they couldn't go to Pasadena because
yeah,
Indiana took that because that'd be the one home game, basically neutral site. For Ohio State, turns out Dallas is closer than Miami for Ohio State. I found
yeah,
that
makes
out
sense.
recently.
There's probably more Ohio State fans in Dallas than Miami, probably as well.
Yeah, probably. And plus, they're like,
And they played there last year,
why
so
would we
familiar.
want to play in Miami Stadium if we play Miami?
Yeah, that too as well. I forgot about that. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
Georgia would be in Miami.
Tech will no, Tech's actually going to be in Miami.
Oh yeah, Georgia's in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, Georgia gets to go to New Orleans, which is a pretty easy drive for them. Pretty easy.
If I was like Georgia, or I feel like I would want to play in Miami just to get your feet under you because you're going to be playing. And if you make the championship, you play there again. So it's like you could get familiar with the landscape of the stadium and stuff.
They don't have pick. I guess they don't have to pick. I don't know.
Well, they're the higher seat.
I don't know. I mean,
The Tech Oregon matchup would be really good.
What I know is that I think probably the semifinal game of the top seed bracket is going to be in Atlanta, while the bottom's going to be in Arizona. I think
it's going to be a really good quarterfinals because I mean, just looking at all the matchups, I mean, you could have either Oklahoma or Alabama, which are, I mean, the last time these two Oklahoma went.
You're gonna have all red. You're gonna have all red. Yeah, either way, you're gonna have all red in Pasadena this year.
Then you have, I mean, Ole Miss, Georgia rematch potential. I mean, and Ole Miss is not too far from New Orleans, so that'll be a really good crowd for both teams. And then potential Miami or A&M, that'd be a good. I mean, probably won't be as good of a matchup with Ohio State, but still would be interesting to see what would happen.
I actually like both those teams matching up against Ohio State. I would love to see both these teams play Ohio State. Obviously, the one, like, if I got my way, I want to see Georgia Ohio State play.
Yeah.
I think the winner of that game this was the thing I was going to get into. National championship picks. Both our preseason national champion is still in. Good for us. Alabama.
Yeah.
But if I were to be realistic, I think
it's going to be Georgia.
I think it's going to be winner.
Georgia or Ohio State.
Ohio State is going to win this whole thing.
I like how
I could also see Oregon. I could see Oregon run. I like Oregon.
They're losing a lot of their staff though. Like they lost like all their.
Yeah, that could be.
Lost both coordinators.
If you were to guess, who do you think makes the surprise run this year? Who makes a surprise run this year?
I mean,
I think the team that's built for it.
Oregon.
I think the team that's built for it is Miami. I think talent-wise, they're just as good as Ohio State. They've got the offense.
What you get with Carson Beck, though, you never know what you get with Carson Beck.
That's a big issue. Because I think, if I were to guess, I think the winner of Georgia Ohio State, because that's what I think happens unless.
I think A&M could also make some could give troubles to Ohio State. I mean, Elko's such a good coach. I mean, he would. And that game is that game's in the Cotton Bowl too, right? So that would be A&M fans would travel. I mean, now it's like really close to A&M, and they I mean, this would be the first. It would be their return to Jerry World because they didn't get to play it against Arkansas, so they would end up still playing in Jerry World.
Jerry World, I think, for the Cotton Bowl was probably during Mike Sherman's era. Remember when they played LSU years ago and Mike Sherman was the coach?
But the last time they actually played was last year's regular season. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, this is a very interesting playoff just because of how open most of these teams, like how wide kind of the field has been for most of the season.
I honestly think the ninth seed, I'd prefer. Maybe I'm still not fully sold on Indiana, or I think Ohio State's just that much of a monster. But I think the 8-9, whoever wins the 8-9 game could have a pretty nice chance against Indiana. I mean, both those teams can slow down Mendoza. I mean, we'll talk about that, but that's probably going to be your Heisman Trophy winner.
Definitely, he made a big throw.
I mean, my team could be Tech.
I mean, Indiana may be without what. Did you see what happened after the game?
No.
So there was a video. It's like one of their best Stephen DeLay or something.
Yeah.
Stephen Daly, one of the two. He was celebrating and then like twisted his knee or something. I don't know
That's
what it is, MCL or AC, like
awful.
one of the two. He had to be in like a big brace on a cart.
Awful.
He was
Good
like
news
trying to
for
just
Indiana
high
is they
five
would
the
have,
fans. Like,
they'd have time. And again,
yeah,
I think
they'll be fine, but it's just
what I am excited though about this is I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think 9 of the 12 could actually win the national championship this year.
yeah. What's special with Indiana's run is that they get to play in the Rose Bowl. Like that's something they probably haven't never. I mean, they've never
It's
played in the
been a
Rose Bowl.
long time. It's been a
Probably like the
long time.
1900s. I mean,
Yeah, and they beat Ohio State for like the first time in years. Like they were on a 30. They showed it on the Big Ten championship. They
it's
were
like a 30 for 30 like run for them
like
right now.
Ohio State had the longest win streak of any team the FBS ever won team. It's like Florida, Kentucky that used to be. But again, we'll have a preview of all these. We'll go really more into detail on these games next week. But I think this is going to be a fun playoff. I'm excited. It's like the one thing I was never like fully onto expansion. I knew we were going to. I just thought it'd be 8. But this first round of having home playoff games, we need more of this. Just give me more home playoff games. Like the atmospheres at A&M, Ole Miss, Autzen, and Norman are going to be awesome. Like last year, the atmosphere in Ohio State, Penn State, Ohio State, Penn State, Austin, and Notre Dame all were great last year. I want more of these home playoff games.
Yeah.
But maybe we get that next year, depending on what we do with the playoff in the future. Really, the big story is Notre Dame's out, and according to ESPN, I think Notre Dame now has a stipulation that if they are in the top 12 in the future, they get it automatically. Do you see that?
Yeah, that's. Look, I mean, next year's schedule, they'll have 3 away games and they'll play 9 home games. So it's like.
It's Notre Dame.
At the end of the day, you're going to have to start scheduling some actual team. Like.
They rewarded Alabama for playing a harder schedule than Notre Dame. It's basically what happened.
It's not even like an Alabama Notre Dame debate. If they would have beaten Miami, you're in. I mean, you got the head-to-head has to matter.
Look, it's the Notre Dame Invitational, Miami A&M. You beat one of those two, you're in the dance.
You make a PAT. Who knows what? Tyler Buckner gave Alabama an extra life.
Cheers.
But I mean, at the end of the day,
I'm happy Alabama's in.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Notre Dame in. Like I'm fine with Miami in as well because
I would have preferred to see. I wish Notre Dame could play like Oregon. I would have loved to see Notre Dame Oregon.
Yeah.
Obviously, like
I would have liked to see.
I'm happy for the Dukes and Tulane, but I'd rather see Notre Dame. I mean, even
I'm fine with Tulane getting in. It's just JMU getting in. It's kind of like
I think Tulane's pretty good. I think Tulane's good, but we'll go into that later. All right. So that's the playoff. That's playoff and early. Just look at it. All right. So let's go over conference championships really quick. Honestly, not a great conference championship week. Most of them were blowouts and didn't have as much stakes. There was one game that felt like that's a conference championship. That's what it felt like in the past. The rest of them kind of felt not like that.
No.
First game, Tulane beats North
Tulane
Texas.
Dominated.
Tulane dominated. They're the better team overall. Mestamaker can only do so much.
Yeah, the defense. I mean, they had a tough call. There probably should have been a touchback on one of the plays.
Going in the Ullman is tough.
I think they kind of got it should have been a touchback on one of the touchdowns and then pick six, drop interception potential when they were down by like 2 possessions late. And then, Tulane has made every time that North Texas made a mistake, Tulane made sure to score with it. Their offense was explosive.
Jake Retzlaff gets to go to the playoff unlike his former team.
Yeah. Then UNLV, Boise State dominates UNLV.
Yep, Boise State dominates UNLV, even though they got in because of computers, basically, because of that
back to
tiebreaker.
back.
Yep, back-to-back titles over UNLV. They can't beat Boise and Idaho.
Tough place to play.
Yep, James Madison takes care of
Boise
business.
State gets to play next week.
James Madison takes care of business.
Yeah, Troy's starting quarterback got hurt like middle of the game or something.
Yeah, even then, I don't think they would have beat the Dukes.
Nah, they kept it close though. They did their part.
Yep.
Then
next game,
Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State was like the best game on that Friday. It was a pretty good finish.
I didn't watch a ton of it because I was more focused on Tulane because I thought that'd be a closer game.
Then Saturday, Texas Tech and BYU. Texas Tech did what we thought they would do. I mean, they handled them.
And it's not really BYU's fault. It's like Texas Tech has the line of scrimmage. It's the line of scrimmage. It's not even the skill guys. I think BYU.
I mean, Dickey did good running the ball. Morton made some big throws. I mean, their offense wasn't they were pretty inconsistent, but they
like BYU's first drive was like they exhausted everything out of it.
Yeah.
They're like, it is so hard. It is so hard for BYU to move down the field. And plus like I told you, Texas Tech, it was basically a Texas Tech home game.
Yeah.
They haven't been this good since the Crabtree days. They're a really good football team.
What's nice is they'll probably, if they keep winning, get to January, they'll probably have Mahomes on their sidelines because, I mean, his season's over.
Not yet, but it's getting close. They run the table they could get in, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that on whenever we do our NFL.
Then you got to afternoon game.
SEC championship. Both of us thought it'd be a close game, just like every other Georgia-Alabama game. Nope. Georgia, you know what?
Georgia did
Congratulations,
good.
Georgia. You beat Kalen DeBoer for the first time.
Georgia was.
Congrats, Georgia. Georgia won. Yeah. Congratulations.
Won the line of scrimmage battle.
Nope. You earned your props. You killed us. You're the better team. We can't say anything. They was split.
The two biggest things they won in the game were turnovers and special teams. They won both. I mean,
Georgia's starting field position was basically like the 50.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama, like in the first half, started like every drive felt like on like 10 or 5 or 15.
Brett Thorson. The punter, dude. He's like he should win the Ray guy.
That guy's a weapon.
That's how you win games right there, special teams. I mean,
it's hard to win games when you can't run the ball.
No.
Especially in Georgia.
-3 yards, including sacks and everything.
That was the big difference between this game and last game, along with the third downs and along with the turnovers.
And
at least in the game in Athens, Alabama had some sort of run game, so Georgia had to, I guess, respect it. This game, nope. They dropped everyone back.
And drops. Alabama could have had some key drives continue on, like a third down. Isaiah Horton drop for like 20 yards. Just momentum.
I'm not even making excuses, but I think Alabama felt like they didn't want to play there. They were like, it felt like
I think they just put too much effort into last week's game against Auburn, and they kind of just exhausted the tank.
And that's why I kind of was with my dad. My dad and I had the same reaction. We're like, sucks, but it's like,
just make it in the playoffs. And
I think we're in.
Ohio State.
I didn't think they'd knock out. Really, I didn't think they'd knock out Alabama.
No.
They can't knock out Alabama because if they would have knocked out Alabama, do I think Notre Dame's a better team than Alabama is currently? Yeah. Yeah, I do agree on that. You know what? Fair. But did Notre Dame play Alabama's schedule? No. Did Notre Dame play in a conference championship? No. Notre Dame sat back and won, while Alabama had to put an extra game on their resume.
At the end of the day, Notre Dame should be not blaming Alabama for being in. It should be Miami.
Alabama in every format besides eye test was better than Notre Dame and that's why they got in over Notre Dame. I don't think that was ever the debate. I think Alabama was going to get in either way. It was the debate of Miami Notre Dame. And do I think Notre Dame kind of got screwed over because the weekly recaps always had them over Miami? Sure. But also, Notre Dame's got to win their games. And you can't have your best win be December against an unranked USC. And you expect to get it. Like, it sucks. I'm sorry, Notre Dame. I think you could have made a deep run, but it is what it is. Everyone's gotten screwed over by the playoff. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it was never really an argument between Alabama and Notre Dame. It was always Miami, Notre Dame.
It was always Miami. They needed a few other things to fall. Like, I think the biggest
Alabama at 9.
The biggest issues with Notre Dame were the ACC and the SEC. The SEC kind of didn't cannibalize itself as much as Notre Dame thought it would. Because Georgia got in, A&M got in, Oklahoma got in, Alabama got in.
And then when at the end of the day, it's like Alabama was still number 9 at the playoff rankings, which shocked me because I thought they would move them down. But I mean,
I thought Alabama would get in. I just thought I think I was talking to other friends of ours, or other mutual friends of ours. We all thought we were going to Kyle Field.
Yeah.
But going back to the SEC championship, Georgia.
Yeah.
You know what? Pat on the back. Congratulations. Go have fun. Go find at that bye and go have fun playing Ole Miss and most likely Ohio State or Miami or Texas A&M. It's gonna be tough. Maybe we'll see you guys in Miami. I'd love to see you guys in Miami, and we have round 3. But 1 for 1, I'll take it.
Gunnar Stockton didn't even have to play his best game.
No,
he did enough game manage.
It was the run game and field position.
Yeah.
The difference in the game was field position. Again, Georgia started every drive. It felt like at the 50 or like the 30 or even inside Alabama. But you know what? Congratulations, Georgia. SEC champs back to back. That's really tough.
Yeah. All right, let's get to
this year, your quarterback didn't get hurt in the SEC championship. So
there you go.
Props to you guys. All right.
Let's get on to the ACC game.
Forgot we got to talk about
this. I kind of call it. I said Duke was going to win.
We both said Duke was going to win this game.
Yep.
I thought Darian Mensah. I think Duke.
I said Chandler Morris never wins big games. He never does.
Yeah, I also
he fought his butt off, man. I'll give him credit. They had so many chances. I feel like the ACC was trying to put the fix in late because they were calling a lot of pretty soft.
I also think the ACC screwed themselves over by not. I think Notre Dame really could have used Miami. I think, and you said
or Virginia
in recent memory, like Notre Dame's not even mad at Alabama. They're mad at the ACC, going like, "How the hell did Miami not get in?"
Yeah.
We would have got in with you guys.
Well, Miami at this point probably would have rather they would have lost to Notre Dame instead of losing to SMU or Louisville. It's like Miami probably would have had the auto bid, but you know what? Miami's still in. So
Miami is in the playoff.
Duke winning is the reason.
College football playoff before winning before going to an ACC champ.
Look, Duke winning is the reason why Miami is in. If Virginia won, Miami would have not been in. I think it would have been Notre Dame.
There you go, Miami. You got what you want. And it was a good game, too.
It was a very good game. Duke controlled for most of it.
That overtime was awesome. Darian Mensah made some
clutch plays.
Look, he made a few mistakes here and there, but yeah, he also Tulane went 2 for 2 this week. Darian Mensah beat the North Texas guy.
And Duke and Tulane beat Duke earlier in the season, so it's like. But congrats to Duke. I mean, Duke's never. I don't even remember when the last time Duke's never won an ACC championship in this decade. So it's like,
and with this, their NIL money can go up. They're going to put more into football now. I mean,
Manny Diaz. I mean, say what you want about him at Miami.
They went out and paid $8 million for Darian Mensah, and it paid off. They won the ACC.
Say what you want about
in a year that everyone thought, oh, ACC is going to be the easy one. It's everything else that's going to be tough. Nope.
Yep. Say what you want about Manny Diaz. I mean, he went to Penn State for the defensive coordinator, got Duke, and he's got Duke like buzzing, like playing really good ball.
Manny Diaz won a ACC championship before Mario Cristobal.
Yeah. Funny.
Who would have
All right.
thought?
Then the big game, Big Ten
This
championship
was
game.
this
Awesome game.
was this was a this was a
Defensive slugfest. Big Ten
this
football.
was a wonderful. This was an ugly, brutal, lovely game to watch. This
Ugly.
was the two best teams all year going at it. And I was worried because I thought, okay, Indiana's good. That's not the problem. I was worried at halftime because I thought Ohio State was going to come out and just scorch them because I thought they'd stop doing Ryan Day would stop just trying to run the ball, kind of like last year's Michigan game, and just
Brian Hartline called a bad game.
I also think Indiana
played really good on the. They controlled the line of scrimmage.
Ohio State couldn't run the ball.
Yeah, Indiana's fine.
Indiana went from last year getting run all over by Jeremiah Love and everyone to this year. They're not. Ohio State can't even run the ball.
Yeah, their front seven is awesome. But we'll see what happens after.
But Ohio State's but the two statistically best defenses lived up to the hype. These are both these teams. I knew Ohio State's defense was good, and that proved the point. I mean, you give up only 13 points. You only give 13 points to one of the best offenses. You win. You should win that game.
The difference in the game was really just red zone efficiency, and then
and that's been
Mendoza made two big throws, like the two deep balls that they hit, especially they were like starting at the 10, like their own 10, like twice, and then they went down the field, scored. It's just like Ohio State. There were two plays right there. The two plays that were the difference in the game, or four plays really. 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1s, both in the goal line, and kind of goal line.
The QB sneak,
yard line.
QB sneak instead of kicking the field goal.
I mean, I don't mind the QB sneak. It's more so the play before that. 3rd and 1, you have an out route. You have a one.
I don't get why you're QB sneaking with Julian Sand. That guy is
no.
He's not Todd Simpson. He's not Fernando Mendoza. He's not Diego Pavia.
No, he's not big.
He is a small dude.
I mean, he got it, but his knees were down.
There's small guys that can do tush pushes like Diego Pavia that are just built.
Yeah, he's not right.
I don't like that call at all. But that's not really the
thing. The play before that was more so was what I had a problem with. 3rd and 1,
yeah.
And you run a one-man route for Jeremiah Smith that they had 3 guys on him, and he wasn't open. And they tried to force the ball there.
Indiana did. They basically went like, "All right, Julian, beat us."
And then the same thing happens on the drive.
They're gonna pretty much Indiana was like, "All right, Julian and Bo Jackson beat us."
Yeah, I mean, Jeremiah Smith still had 144 receiving yards. So it's not like he was.
Jeremiah Smith's going to get his.
Yeah, he's like the Megatron of college football.
Jeremiah Smith is a generational wide receiver. This is one of the best receivers I've ever seen play college football. He's like Julio Jones. He's like Julio Jones at receiver. Like, yeah, he's going to get his touches. Like Marvin Harrison was for Ohio State. No matter what you do, he's going to get catches. You just got to contain him. And that's what they did. But the big weakness, while Ohio State went undefeated in the regular season, the one thing that all their fans have been kind of worried about is like this one weakness that we could really work on is red zone. And that's been the big issue with Ohio State this year. The red zone's been not that good. And Klatt made a really, really great comment on the broadcast going, you know why they're not as great in the red zone? Because they don't have Will Howard. They don't have the threat of Will Howard, a big, strong quarterback that can run. Julian, you're not worried about Julian's legs. And that takes away a big part of the red zone. It makes it a lot harder to score in the red zone. But, last year Ohio State lost a 13-10 game in a big game, and look what happened.
Yep.
But one final thing. Fernando Mendoza and Elijah Surratt, holy.
Charlie Becker. That dude's.
They beat Ohio State without Omar Cooper.
I mean, Charlie Becker might be their best receiver.
Might be. I think it's Surratt.
Surratt's going to be like a second-round pick. He's really good.
Be a draft pick, like a late find for like probably the Rams or
Second round pick, probably minimum. Like he can maybe sneak in his way to the first round as well. He's good.
It depends on how crazy wide receivers go this year. But I would say Mendoza probably secured his spot in the Heisman. Probably won the Heisman.
It's him and Pavia. I think it's them two.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
He's not winning it this year.
I'll give it to Mendoza's because
he'll be the favorite next year.
Yeah.
I'll
give it to Mendoza. He's had 3 game-winning drives. Now 4, I think now. He's had the Oregon game, Penn State, Iowa, now this 4 game-winning drives. I mean,
that
didn't play at all in most of the fourth quarters.
And Julian Say never had that Heisman moment.
No.
Mendoza had that drive against Penn State, that throw right before the 2-minute warning. That's a Heisman throw.
Then he didn't really play much in the fourth quarter, so his stats are kind of a little bit because they're blowing out everybody. Yeah. So it's like a little bit not as many.
This was the best game of the weekend by far. Indiana beats Ohio State for the first time in 33 tries. Indiana avenges their loss last year. Indiana is the number 1 seed. What a world!
Not basketball.
We're in the year 2025, and if you would have told me that Indiana would be the 1 seed this year, I would have laughed. Or like 2 years, you could have told me 3 years ago that Indiana's going to be
they need a 30 for 30 in what Signetti's done to that program. It's remarkable. It's just now they get to play in the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy.
He's going to go down as one of the greatest college football coaches of all time, and he barely coached. He's not going to have a long career in Indiana because of his age.
No.
But he's going to be considered one of the great coaches of all time.
That's why with this season being the number 1 seed, you kind of have to take advantage of it and win a championship. Like
you have to at least win that Rose Bowl. You got to win that Rose Bowl.
Yeah, if you lose that Rose Bowl, it's like at this point, I think Alabama getting in is kind of like, oh, you're playing with house money. It's like, great, you did enough to make the playoff. You're kind of struggling at the moment.
Alabama. This is a senior team, so
yeah, it's still, but just saying house money and where the teams are currently. Like Indiana's at their peak right now. Alabama's still
Alabama
still rebuilding.
Indiana has more to lose than Alabama, I'd say.
Yeah.
Or Indiana, Oklahoma. I'd say Indiana has more to lose than Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Whoever wins that game is kind of going into the Rose Bowl. It's like, all right, fuck it. Let's screw it.
And I think before we end, it's just going to be interesting to see how teams progress over this next week because Oklahoma and Alabama have been pretty banged up these past couple weeks.
Alabama's going to – they needed – that's probably why they don't want to play Georgia. They've got injured. Look, Alabama's going to play, but there's a lot of teams that played in conference championships that probably wish they didn't. I think in the SEC, both Bama and Georgia were like, eh.
Yeah, Josh Cuevas will probably most likely be back.
Because
and he
couldn't. Neither of those teams were going to fall out, but it's like whoever won the game was going to gain an advantage. Georgia won, so they get the bye.
And Josh Cuevas coming back would be huge for the Oklahoma game because he had his best game of the season.
Jam Miller
is coming off his best game.
He's not the greatest Alabama running back ever, not even sliced, but they at least run the ball with him.
He's the best on this team just because of what he can do.
Kevin Riley's going to be back for that game. LT Overton hopefully will be back for that game. That'd be nice.
Even then, it could be a reset for Tyson Simpson because he's struggled and he's probably dealing with injuries as well.
He's injured.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that the quarterback I saw from Missouri before. What was hold on.
Probably like Missouri on, but really the injury.
I'd say Tennessee back. Like that stretch from ULM to South Carolina or Tennessee.
Probably Tennessee. South Carolina, he was not.
He played okay against LSU. He wasn't great against LSU, but he played okay.
No. But he'll probably be the healthiest he's been. Is probably what we're aiming at. Same with Oklahoma.
Look, Ty was great in the stretch we needed him. That 4-game stretch from Georgia, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Tennessee. That's where we needed him most. And my God, he was great.
The thing with that game and John Mateer also, he's been hurt. He's been hurt as well.
Both these quarterbacks are obviously hurt.
And both offenses have not really lived up to what they
this could be another defensive stalemate. These are two. I would say
quarterback can make the biggest
these
play.
two teams Georgia, Texas have the best defenses in the SEC.
Yeah, in the SEC. Then when you get outside the SEC, it's like Texas Tech.
This year, I mean, looking back on it, the SEC had a lot of good defense this year. LSU was good this year. A&M was pretty good this year.
Florida's defense is pretty good.
Florida was really good. Tennessee was bad.
Auburn's was pretty good. Was good.
Auburn's really good. Georgia's has gotten better throughout the year. Yeah,
There's a lot of like coordinator. We didn't really. Did we touch? Well, yeah, we did touch on Matt Campbell being in defense.
yeah, we touched on that. Some other coaching stuff that happened. Tulane just they didn't get Blake Baker. Blake Baker.
Will Hall.
I think the big story though of this cycle was something that didn't break was that Durkin stand at Auburn.
That's big for them.
Huge for Auburn.
Big for Auburn.
But again, we're getting into the portal days. Like Jackson Arnold's in the portal.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
But I think the last thing we talk about is kind of this week. So Saturday we get Army Navy.
Yeah.
And we get, I believe this week, the Heisman Trophy.
It's got it. Pretty sure. Yeah.
Hold on.
Should be. I think Mendoza is going to be the champion.
Nope. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Mendoza will be the Heisman winner.
Saturday at 6, the Heisman Trophy. The Heisman Trophy will leave Travis Hunter and go to another one.
Look, I feel like if Notre Dame would have gone.
Before we talk about it, the finalists are Fernando Mendoza, Julian Sayin, Jeremiah Love, and Pavia.
I think if Notre Dame went 12-0, I think Jeremiah Love would have won the Heisman.
I thought this was the year a running back could win the Heisman.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Jeremiah Love, it really hurt them because, again, I rewatched Miami Notre Dame before the playoff. Dude, Notre
Dame did not run the ball at all that game.
No, like they.
We talked about it when that
they couldn't run the ball against A&M. They're two best teams on line scrimmage, and Miami's about as talented.
But they were pass.
They couldn't run.
Notre Dame was pass heavy to start the first two games, especially with their freshman.
That's what everyone thought Notre Dame would be this year. Like around camp, they're like, yeah, I think they're going to be more of a passing team this year because of the line.
But it's like, why can't you? They could have probably run it more against Notre Dame.
Even though you have a first round running back.
But Miami, you could.
Jeremiah Love's going to be a chief. It's going to be a chief next year.
Yeah, probably so. Then, look, if we're basing it off who is the best player for their team, like I think Diego Pavia really has I think he'll probably finish runner up, but I mean, I wouldn't shock me.
I think if I were to put my vote in, I'd put Diego Pavia in.
Yeah, I think what he means to the team. It's like the Travis Hunter effect.
It's more like best player and best team or most valuable. I think Pavia is more valuable to Vanderbilt than Mendoza to Indiana. I think Indiana would have still been really good.
I think Indiana is just a well-coached machine. It's like a well-oiled machine.
I think they'd still be really good, but I don't know if they go undefeated without Mendoza. Maybe they do.
Maybe they do. Maybe.
But I think Pavia is the more valuable player because without Pavia, Vanderbilt's probably 7-6 or like 500.
Like 5-7 or 6. I mean,
bad.
I mean, the games
they have some talented offensive linemen, and Stowers is probably going to be the first tight end off the board. But
yeah, he's good.
But Pavia, I think, was the more valuable to his team. Obviously, if I were to make my vote, I'd go Pavia slightly over Mendoza and then Love Sayin. That's what I'd go.
Yeah, that's how I would go.
I think Sayin will be the favorite next year, and I think he could probably win it next year. But
I think it's going to go Mendoza, Pavia.
If I had a vote, I'd give it to Diego Pavia. I thought he was incredible this year, even better than I thought. But I'm happy either way. Like, yeah. Either Vanderbilt or Indiana's going to have a Heisman Trophy winner. What a world. What a world we live in. It's like, imagine saying 3 years ago that the 2025 Heisman Trophy would come down to either an Indiana quarterback or a Vanderbilt quarterback. What a world. What a world we live in. I don't get it. I don't get it, but welcome to NIL. Welcome to the NIL era. And both these coaches found lightning in a bottle. Both these guys were transfers. That's another thing about this era. It's like both these guys are transfers. Kind of like that's kind of crazy. We could have another transfer quarterback win the Heisman.
Yep.
So we'll find out who wins the Heisman Trophy Saturday. I would expect Mendoza. And also one more thing about Mendoza. He reminds me a lot of Andrew Luck. I listened to this on a podcast. I was like, yeah. I think Mendoza's like Andrew Luck. The personality of like an Andrew Luck, where he's like extremely smart. He's not as talented as Andrew Luck, but he reminds me of Andrew Luck. That's just a random thought.
All right.
Anything else we want to talk about?
So besides Army-Navy game, that'll be always fun to see. I think it might be
win that game. Who you got win that game?
I think Navy's gonna win.
You think Navy's gonna win? Where's that get? Where is it this year? Is it in Pennsylvania? Is it in Pennsylvania this year?
I think it's in I think it might be in Philadelphia.
It is.
It's always in Philadelphia. It might be in MetLife.
It's either in MetLife or in the Link. One of the two.
Let's see. Let me check real quick. I'll check. Checking right now.
Army's 6-5. Navy's 9-2. Navy's a touchdown.
It is
6.5-point favorite.
Baltimore.
Really?
It's always in one of those three stadiums. It's either in the Link.
It's in M&T?
Yep.
Okay.
And then you get Boise State and Washington playing in the first bowl game of the.
In the LA Bowl in SoFi, future home of the UCLA Bruins.
That could be a pretty good game.
Future home of the UCLA Bruins, I assume, and Bob Chesney, the James Madison coach.
Boise State.
For this game, both these. Washington's a 9.5-point favorite. I expected a little more from Washington this year. They were my dark horse team in the Big Ten this year.
They didn't do as bad. Their deep. It's just their offense in the big games they needed to. They didn't show up.
They weren't good in big games.
No, their offense wasn't good in big. Their defense was good though. Their defense was good in a big game, but their offense didn't show up.
Yeah, they're transitioning fine to the Big Ten.
But next year, I think they'll have they'll have their quarterback back again.
Ramon Williams, will be good. Okay, I got one more thing to ask. So going into this bowl season, obviously there's not a lot of great bowl games, but one of them kind of stood out to me just because I think it's funny.
I think I can guess. Is it Penn State and Clemson?
Yes, because these were the two of the three favorites to win the.
Yeah, two of the top
favorites to win the national championship this year, and they're both playing. You're like, oh yeah, Clemson and Penn State are playing it in the postseason. And you're like, oh, great, in the national championship or playoff. So it's like, nope. Another one, Pop-Tarts Bowl. We could have had Mormons versus Catholics. I wanted it so bad. Jeremiah Love needed to end his career with a Pop-Tart. I wanted to see that so bad.
Yep.
Darn you, Notre Dame. USC TCU will be a fun Alamo Bowl. Tennessee's in the Music City Bowl. In other news, grass is green. Iowa Vanderbilt could be really fun. This is probably one of the better defensive lines that Pavi is going to see in his career. Love that matchup. Michigan, Texas will be fun. In the I woke up feeling the cheesiest coach bowl. And yeah, I mean, it's sad. It's sad to see what bowl seasons become.
Yep. All right.
Anything else?
No, I think we're good. We'll be back next week, with more in depth.
We'll go more in depth on some of these bowl games we want to discuss, but mostly it'll be about the playoff going into these 4 games in the first round. Obviously, you know where we both stand. Did you say who you think you're going to win the national championship this year?
I think it'll be Georgia.
Georgia
or highest. We're at the bottom of the bracket, I think.
I've got the Buckeyes. We got the
Yeah.
Buckeyes.
I need to see Georgia.
I got Buckeyes versus either. I got Buckeyes. I think Oregon could make the national
I
championship.
think every team on that top of the bracket except for James Madison can make the championship.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with Alabama. I don't think Oklahoma could.
I think Oklahoma could. It just their offense, like Mateer, if he gets back to playing,
Yeah, I think Alabama's a scary team to be at the 9 because you never know what you're going to get with Alabama. You might get a team that beats Georgia on the road in Athens, or you might get a team that shits the bed against Florida State or Georgia in the SEC. So you never know.
All right, that'll do it for the Fourth and a Mile podcast. We'll be back next week. We'll be back actually probably tomorrow or Thursday for NFL. Probably tomorrow.
I will be in the new set. I will be in somewhere in Florida.
Yeah, we'll probably get an episode out tomorrow evening, and then we'll
tomorrow evening or Thursday morning. We'll get it out before the prime game, whatever the prime game is this week.
Yeah. All right.
So does the NFL? Hold on. Does the NFL start playing Saturday games this week?
No.
Is that next week?
Next week.
Okay.
Packers and Bears will be during one of the night playoff games.
They're going to compete with.
Well, what's helped is they're not going to be competing against anybody because what helps is the A&M Miami games at the 11, and then you have 4 o'clock Eagles Commanders, and then 7:20.
I mean, the Eagles. I'd rather watch Tulane Ole Miss,
and then you have 7:20 instead of watching JMU Oregon. You can watch Packers Bears Part 2. So dude, I'd rather watch that.
We're going to talk about that game on Thursday.
Yeah,
that was one of the better games of the year. All right, that'll do it for this week's episode of the Fourth and Mile Podcast College Edition. Again, like Nicholas said, we'll be back soon for the NFL. As always, everyone have a great day. If you're traveling for this Christmas break, or whenever you're traveling for Christmas break, whether that be this week or any other week, everyone stay safe. Have a good one, and peace.
Peace.